race, and don't forget to like and subscribe before we even get any further, because we're going to show you exactly how I got into racing and what you want to do to get into racing yourself, and how you can do it an unbelievably cheap method called autocross. And autocross for me was my starting point. You can also do go-karting, whatever you want to do. That your bag is your bag. But the way that I see it is that autocross means you can race whatever you want. You can race your Honda Civic, you can race your Ferrari 355, you can race your Prius. As long as it's not taller than it is wide, you can get into that sport, and it's incredibly cheap. You don't need to do any modifications to your car to go, and each day is usually between $20 and $70. The idea is all you need is a parking lot or an airstrip, some pylons, and some timing devices. That's it. That's all it requires. And you get out there and you create a track by laying cones down this way, so that this is your cone, this is your pointer cone, go on this side. Pretty simple. The real advantage of it is there's nobody else on the track. You're the only person on the track at the time, so you can't bump into somebody. You don't have to worry about scratching and trading paint. You're just by yourself. You're going against yourself. You're competing against yourself constantly, learning to get faster and faster. And people will come for ride-alongs. They'll all show you the ropes. They'll all help you gain much better times in your car to see where the limit of your car is. That's what's so spectacular about autocross right there. You get to learn the limit of your car in a safe environment. Generally speaking, the only thing you can do is hit a couple of pylons. You could slide up into the grass, and on runways, there are some runway lights that you could hit and would do some damage, there's no doubt, but generally speaking, most of the course designers make sure that you won't slide up into one of those anyway. I can't think of a better setup than that. And you get to learn how to get faster and faster, and how sometimes driving faster is actually slower, and sometimes driving slower is actually faster. You get to learn tire pressures, you get to learn car setup, you get to learn alignments. Get to learn trail braking, when to accelerate out of a corner, when not to. And autocross itself has the most intense time frame. It's usually about 60 seconds, which sounds like nothing. But in that 60 seconds, there's usually 120 inputs, which means that every half a second, you're changing direction, using the brake, using the gas pedal. You're never maintaining, generally, a straight line. You're always changing something. Formula One course doesn't even have that many inputs. It's amazing for car control and intensity. The focus required is next level. Once you've done that, you can go on to bigger things like full-size track. But you might just simply love autocross like I do, because here's the other advantage of autocross. The course changes every time you go out. There's never the same course. You can change the course design even once a day, so you can have a morning course and an afternoon course, which most of the time is what they do. So you never get used to running the track, so you're always having to be on point. The first thing you do with an autocross course is you walk it. So the course will be laid out, and you will walk the entire course, trying to imagine where your car is going to be, so that you can make sure you have the most effective racing line. And also because it's a sea of cones. When you look out of your car the first time and you see a bunch of cones in a parking lot or on a raceway or in a runway, you're kind of lost. You don't know where to be. So walking the course enables you to know the line you're going to take and where you're going to be at each point in the course. Once you've done that at least twice, highly recommend at least twice, then you can go out and race. And honestly, I recommend not even hitting the track until you've gone for a couple of laps with a more experienced driver as well. The only thing you'll need to bring to autocross is a helmet. And you don't even need to bring that, because they usually have helmets there available for you. It's extremely cheap to do, and it's really accessible, because as I said, you only need a parking lot or a runway, and there's abandoned runways all over the place, like everywhere. So they're easy to get to and very, very cheap to rent. So that's why the autocross clubs use them. Thanks for joining me in this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time on Ready to Race.